All right. Next up, Fiala traded Jarvis Landry to Lincoln for Tariq Cohen. Lincoln won this.
This is almost a rape.
Yeah, I mean, especially as of late, Jarvis has just been doing very
Jarvis all season has been doing really well for the Browns.
Been doing decent. Yeah, he's just got a good chemistry with Baker versus Odell.
And Tariq is playing second fiddle to David Montgomery.
Yeah, and he's hit or miss.
And their offense isn't that good.
No, God, it's awful.
The only time Tariq ever does anything is when the Bears are out of their own element and they have to pass a lot. Yeah. And they're not a passing team to begin with. God, no. So it's just like,
yeah,
not really that great.
Not really much to say about that. Much more. Good job, Lincoln.
Yeah.
Next, Bruce traded Robert Woods, Tyrell Williams, and Jamal Williams to Michael for Chase Edmonds, Deshaun Jackson, and Tony Pollard. What are your thoughts on this one,
Michael? My thoughts on this one. Chase Edmonds had actually just won me the week.
Yeah, he did. That was this week he put up a bunch of points.
That was the 1 week that he put up, crazy numbers. I had picked up Deshaun Jackson off the waivers because I had heard rumors that he was going to be getting healthy in the next 2 weeks. So I thought, okay, he's worth a stash. And then Tony Pollard, he's been the handcuff for Zeke for the longest time. Had a lot of value early on in the season when Zeke was holding out. But now he's just fantastic just in case Zeke goes down.
Yeah.
And I was needing some wide receiver depth at the time. So Robert Woods is now sitting on my bench. Tyrell Williams is in my wide receiver 2 slot, which he's been doing kind of poor recently, so I'm going to have to reevaluate that. And then I ended up trading Jamal Williams later on to level up my tight end. So I won this trade.
Yeah.
Because Chase Edmonds, I think, proceeded to put up a pretty crap number.
And then he got hurt, I think.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah. Did Deshaun ever come back?
No.
So
yeah,
that's 2 players that are...
Tony's a backup.
So...
But that actually helps Bruce since he has Zeke.
It's playing long game.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, you got the better end of the stick because you just got better players.
But also, Bruce had these players to give. It wasn't like he was needing.
Yeah, he didn't need
any of those.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
he just gave you.
That makes it
he
the
just
wash.
He helped you get better depth basically because he could give it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
This one was fun.
So this happened moments after mine and Bruce's trade. We'd given Macy some information on how Jimmy Garoppolo was having a fantastic matchup coming up.
Oh yeah, shit.
But then Bruce had heard it, went and vultured Jimmy Garoppolo off the free pickup on the waiver wire. And then Macy got so pissed at Bruce that she made him.
She moved tables.
She moved tables.
We were at breakfast.
And then Brecky. And then Bruce felt bad, and he traded Mason Rudolph for Jimmy Garoppolo, who Macy would have dropped. So.
Yeah.
Jimmy, yeah.
Mason Rudolph.
Or Mason.
Mason Rudolph taking poops on the bed.
Yeah, well...
He's taking poops on the bench now.
Ever since he got hit in the head with that helmet,
God.
he's been a different man.
Yeah, so...
Yeah.
It was interesting.
This is kind of what...
Yeah.
I mean,
does she...
stupid. Because, I mean, really, also, it was just for her bye week. Because she's got Dak. Who might
need a little bit of replacement.
Yeah.
You don't know.
If you threw it to Amari Moore, it might be better, but...
Oh, yeah.
Putting up a goose egg for me.
Catch the ball.
He just has to catch... Yeah, Amari has to catch the ball.
Cooper Kupp's got to catch the ball.
Oh!
Too soon.
Different league, but...
Different league.
Too soon.
I'm not even in it.
Against me.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Sad.
Winning by 0.09. We'll just say that.
Yeah. All right. Colin traded Todd Gurley and Daniel Jones to Lincoln for Gerald Everett and Golden Tate. Fun fact about Golden Tate.
Stupid.
A couple weeks ago, I saw this thing where the 4 weeks that Tate was suspended and then Devontae was out for 4 weeks with an injury. in the time that they had played, like I said a couple weeks ago, they had scored the same amount of points in the fantasy season, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, Todd Gurley, Daniel Jones for Gerald Everett and Golden Tate.
I understand Gurley wasn't doing well.
And he still kind of isn't doing well.
Yeah, but the fact that...
But he's
just
one of
really
those...
so talented.
Last week.
He's one of those running backs that can, pop it off at any time.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, I think it's just the Rams have been struggling in general. They just couldn't get Gurley going tonight. But, last week, he went
Feed
off.
the meter.
Yeah.
Feed the meter.
And I think that's going to happen here towards the end of the season as they make a playoff push. I mean, it might be too late for him now, but
we'll see.
Yeah.
It'll come to we'll see what it does.
Yeah. And then
but I mean, Colin got a good receiver.
He did.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
In a decent
tight end.
Tight end.
Adam traded Mark Andrews and Muhammad Sanu to Michael for Jamal Williams and Tyler Boyd. Best player involved in this trade?
Mark Andrews.
Easily.
Without a doubt.
Yep.
So Jamal Williams is the handcuff. Well, I guess he's not even a handcuff because he still has potential to go off anytime. With Aaron Jones. I didn't want Tyler Boyd in my lineup. He was going against...
Inconsistent.
Well, Tyler Boyd is a fantastic wide receiver. He is. But that offense is shit.
But you don't... Well, that's what I mean. I'm not, the player's not bad.
It's the system.
Yes, exactly, the system.
And so I just didn't want anything to do with it. And I upgraded my tight end and got a pretty solid...
Sanu was... Yeah. Was he on New England at this point?
Yes. He was just there.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's a good trade.
Oh God, this next one.
Yeah. This next trade is my favorite trade all season. And I will explain why. T-Corn traded Sam Darnold to Fiala for Kareem Hunt. Sam Darnold was on your team because of the bye week for Russell.
I picked him up about a month in advance.
Yeah.
Because I knew he had an easy schedule. He did really poopy against the Patriots, but I held on to him and kept faith.
And Fiala.
And one random day, I got a trade offer from Fiala for Kareem Hunt. And I thought to myself, fuck yeah, I'll take it. I don't even, I'll just stream another quarterback that week. My bye weeks for Russell's in another 3 weeks. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'll take the risk on Hunt.
However,
somehow Darnold was on the waivers by the time Russell's bye week came around.
Yeah.
Because somebody lost faith in him.
And so
I picked him up and played him against Fiala during Russell Wilson's bye week and wiped his face in a pile of dog crap.
Oh, Fiala.
There's
Fiala.
absolutely no way that you could argue T-Corn did not win this trade. Because in the week that he needed Sam Darnold, he had Sam Darnold. And Kareem Hunt's been doing well.
Yeah, he scored 12 points in every week he's played.
Yeah.
So,
it's consistency.
Because at that point, he had just, been reinstated. That's October 31st, 2 months after the season.
Yep.
8 weeks. He was suspended. He was probably unsure about how he would do with
as
Chubb doing all. Yeah, as we all were. But
Browns have a great use for him.
Yeah, I think I tried to get Hunt from him early on for something.
I know you did.
And, I offered him, an okay bench player, nothing, big. But, Hunt was going to be out for 10 weeks. So it's just you don't want to give up an arm and a leg for a guy you don't know, what his role going to be in offense. But it ended up working out. Fiala kept him on his bench for 9 weeks, and I just think that it was probably a bad time for you to make that trade, just with him just about to come back.
Yeah, but
you should have tried it a little bit earlier. Is all I would say.
Or waited a bit and
or
not done it at
all.
all.
Just waited. Yeah.
But yeah.
Or also just not drop Sam Darnold.
Not to say that I'm gonna start Kareem Hunt every week, but like
And he's
he's a decent
flex
option
choice.
if I
He
want
is.
to put him in my flex.
Well, he is also a pretty nice high floor player. He's not going to really burn you.
no.
But as you'll see later on, I have better flex options now.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah. Next up, T-Corn and 2 weekend. You gave me the Saints defense
Oh, God.
for the stash, Mr. Gardner Minshew.
Can I just start this?
Yeah, go for it.
This is hands down my worst trade that I think I've ever
Uh-huh.
made in my entire life.
Because how long after this was Gardner benched for Nick Foles?
I think it was literally that week. He did
Yeah.
that was
He
when he had
did
a shit
trash.
week. And then I tried to trade him back to you for somebody else.
Because you were sleeping when you sent that offer, and I'm like, would you take Jameis instead?
I should have.
Yeah.
I didn't want Jameis though, but like, yeah, I knew I had Pittsburgh's defense and the Saints defense. I was like, okay, like I kind of had to make a decision on which one I wanted, and like knowing with the whole like bye week situation, I'm just like, okay, Gardner may be bad, but then he lost his starting job. It all worked out, but it's just a shit trade at my end. And
Yeah.
this helped you out later on. Too.
Because you went from a really good trade with Darnold to a really bad trade.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how it all.
Mhm.
It all pans out. Yeah, the grand scheme.
Between the two trades, I'd say it's a wash.
Yeah.
Actually, probably because Kareem.
No, you still win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I wouldn't have had Pittsburgh's defense, I would have never traded them the Saints defense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the fact.
And
I just had two-
I didn't even want the Saints defense.
Oh yeah, I
As
know.
This doesn't even really belong as a single trade, as it was directly the reason. You can consider this a three-way trade
You could
Basically.
actually
because it was.
You needed my trade to execute this upcoming
Yes,
trade.
which was I traded the Saints defense, Dan Bailey, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Kenyon Drake to Derek for Joey Sly, Chris Conley, and the Patriots defense.
Actually, now looking at it, Derek wins this trade
Yeah.
because the Saints defense have done better than the Patriots in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Chris Conley isn't really of any note. Joey Sly isn't really of any note.
I mean, look, now he's also got competition.
Juju's
Panthers
honestly,
just signed to someone else because of that bad week, but yeah.
Juju's like the used rag
Yeah, he is.
in our league.
Yeah, he is.
Like he's been on like half
Bounce,
the teams.
bounce.
Like literally, he's been on half of the team.
Yeah.
Not good.
But I don't even have the Patriots defense anymore.
No.
I'd had them for less than 48 hours.
No, this honestly helped you. I think
Yeah.
it helped you set up your next trade.
Because honestly, basically this season, I trade people to get people to trade them to eventually. It's like that that episode of The Office where Jim Dwight starts with a paperclip
Yeah.
and eventually upgrades it to a telescope.
Oh, yeah.
But then he changes for the magic beans.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I have the magic beans. You could say.
Okay.
Those magic beans weren't really magic beans.
Yeah, they really
No.
weren't. You really want to tell us.
It was an illusion.
You really should have stayed with the telescope.
So you're telling me my last trade I made was the one where he got the magic
Well, we'll
beans?
find out.
I guess.
I mean, good trade for Derek. Good
Yeah.
job, buddy.
Yeah.
One of your better trades this year.
Yeah. Speaking of Patriots defense, I traded them along with Jameis Winston for Larry Fitzgerald and Deshaun Watson. Jameis, honestly, if he didn't throw so many picks, he
He would be fantastic.
very good quarterback. But I mean, still though, he's still
He's
still good quarterback.
Yeah.
But he's going to scare you for the first half of the game.
Oh yeah, dude. He's heart attack. I mean, he's like in a sense, he's like throws as many interceptions as Phillip Rivers, but has the upside of all the touchdowns.
And the yards.
Doesn't he
Yeah,
have
the
doesn't he
yards.
have a chance at throwing the most touchdowns and interceptions in a season?
Mhm.
I think so.
I think he has that right now.
Yeah,
actually.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Watson, the week after I got him, well, I got him on his bye, and that was a big factor in how I got Watson. The week after he put up 4, but then this past week he put up about 20. So I'm looking like he hopefully will. I mean, he faces actually the Patriots defense next. Hopefully they do well.
But he also has fantastic. He has fantastic wide receiver
Receivers.
options, and he can also he can hustle.
Yeah,
He's got
those
good legs.
wheels.
He's got those legs.
I ended up dropping Fitz, so he's kind of a non-factor in this trade. But
He's been a non-factor.
yeah, he was
He's a great football wide receiver. Not as great fantasy.
I just really was like, give me Watson and your dropped person you drop, and so that's how I got Fitz.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this trade? Who won?
Oh, you win with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Deshaun's got a lot more upside than. I mean, and the Patriots just have a lot of more tougher matchups, which that's why I liked you trading them away right after you got.
Because also I've been streaming defenses. I'm on that's stream
not a bad
stream of the week.
It's not a bad idea. You can get burned on in a couple weeks, but you can hit gold too if you get lucky enough. So you just got to play the odds.
Yes. Alrighty. This next one, Adam traded Marquise Brown, Jordan Howard, and Aaron Jones to Lincoln for Austin Eckler, Jarvis Landry, and Philip Lindsay.
Where to start?
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, kind of wishy-washy there.
Yeah. I would rather have Jones though, I'd say.
I'd rather have Jones also. Jordan Howard, Philip Lindsay.
I'd rather have Philip.
And Marquise Brown, Jarvis Landry. I'd rather have Jarvis.
So, I mean, just going off that logic, Adam won. Maybe.
Lincoln needed a running back, and he got a good running back in Aaron Jones.
Yeah, better running back. Yeah, I mean it makes sense. But Keith Brown isn't.
He's not bad, but he's that boomer bust.
Mm-hmm.
But he's on a very high powered. But he's very high powered offense. So that's
why I
pay
like
some
him.
dividends.
But I mean, and I think Jarvis has emerged a little bit here lately as doing really good. Where he was early on in the season, I think that might be why he traded him. To be honest, is just because I think Brown had more boom value, and I think at this point of the season, because this trade was literally made like what, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
November
2 weeks
12th.
ago. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I think Lincoln was kind of on his last leg, just trying to get something to work. And Aaron Jones has had games where he scored 30, 40 points at least 3-4 times this year. So, I mean, it makes sense. I understand why he made it.
Yeah.
Because he needed those
playmakers. Big down.
He needed big playmakers, especially if he wants to make the playoffs. Yep. He needs those guys.
Yeah.
And I don't think at that time of the year, like Lindsay doesn't seem like that, guy that's going to score 30 points in a week. He could score 20. Jarvis could do that too.
Jarvis almost did 30.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. He had a big week. But I think Adam wins, but the trade makes sense for both teams, I think.
Yep.
I think it honestly makes more sense for Lincoln than it does for Adam.
And it's kind of funny because this trade actually had to go through twice because I accidentally vetoed it the first time because I didn't know what that button did.
It's a powerful button.
Yeah.
It's a powerful
I thought everyone had that button, honestly. Do you have the button?
No, I don't.
I don't have the button.
I thought everyone did, and then everyone voted on it, but
I never voted on a trade before.
I mean, I didn't either up until this point, and I'm like, what does this button do? So, had to go through twice. Next, I traded Kalen Ballage and the Ravens defense to Colin for Dallas Goedert. I made this trade a couple weeks in advance of Hunter Henry's bye week, so I could have Dallas Goedert. I like Goddard in that because he obviously Ertz is clearly the number one tight end.
I mean, even with Ertz, Dallas Goedert can be supported. In that offense.
They run a lot of two tight end sets.
Yeah, they do, and he did all right for me.
He's a fantastic bye week play.
Yeah, and that was the week Ravens had that really good week. I can't remember who they played, but they put up big numbers. I'm like, Colin, he's looking for a defense. Some guys chase the numbers. I guess maybe counted a little bit. And I think he was also looking for a running back. So I just threw in Balaj. And so, I mean, to me, it made sense. And like I said, streaming defenses.
I would still say it's kind of washy.
Ravens defense are one of the best defenses.
It's one of those classic, you need to fill a spot for a bye week type of trade where you're just looking ahead and you make a trade a couple weeks ahead for that. I mean, because you can obviously go to waivers, but sometimes if you're willing to get rid of bench players for somebody like that.
And the waivers, sense. I checked the waivers and there was nothing there.
Yeah. No, it makes sense, but it's more of just a meh type of trade, nothing that sticks out.
Yeah. Yeah, so next Bruce traded Jack Doyle to Derek for Devontae Parker.
Bruce wins this trade. Devontae Parker is a wide receiver 1 in kind of a awful offense, but they're making some strides to get better.
Get so many targets,
but Devontae Parker is the shining star.
That's what I mean.
In a crap
He's
offense.
got like a 24% target share, which is like
it's insane.
So high.
Yeah.
Doyle,
Jack,
was Eric Ebron down at this point?
No,
I don't know.
But I like how we're kind of seeing a consistency with some of Derek's trades. Have you noticed he's gotten a lot of tight ends
he's been kind of in
got a couple tight ends.
Tilt mode.
You know what this led to? You trading away Zach Ertz. If you wouldn't have done that, some of these trades wouldn't have ever happened.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have gotten Michael Thomas if you would have traded away Zach Ertz.
You never know because he wouldn't have needed a tight end.
No.
I'm just saying, Derek. I think Derek, if he doesn't make those trades, like he keeps his team the way it was,
Derek had drafted a very good team.
He would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He drafted a better team than I did.
That's the biggest blunder of our generation.
Derek.
is
that what you're going for?
Yeah. Derek's team. That's the biggest blunder.
Derek.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's move on.
Keep her moving.
I like this one actually for Derek. Fiala traded Stephon Diggs and Jalen Samuels to Derek for Joe Mixon. Lately, at the time, Joe Mixon hadn't really been doing much.
No.
Lately he has, but Stephon Diggs is a solid receiver. Jalen Samuels, at the time, was doing pretty well. I think Connor was probably hurt at this time.
Yep.
So, I mean, at the time I thought it favored Derek. Now, I still think it favors Derek, not quite as much, but...
No, I still think it favors. Derek. When was this trade done?
This one was November 12th.
November 12th. I'm just trying to look at what his running backs are.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Mixon's just like Mixon's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
But that's just like that's the Bengals in a nutshell this year.
Yeah.
So that's why, I mean, my personal opinion, when I see teams that are like that, I just avoid those players in general. Like, that's just I mean, they're just riskier play options.
I mean, I would take, looking at it now, he has Duke Johnson in his running back 1, and I would take Joe Mixon over Duke Johnson. But whatever.
Yeah.
But he gets Stephon Diggs as a wide receiver 1.
Yep.
And Jalen Samuels is a pretty capable backup running back.
I think Mixon's just got the most upside.
Yep.
Not anybody, but that's why it's a 2-for-1.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. It's not a sexy trade, but
no.
Yeah. Next, Derek traded Jalen Samuels and Devontae Adams to T-Corn for Cortland Sutton and Tevin Coleman.
I think this is Derek's best trade of the year.
He actually wins this trade, I think.
Yeah. Because
I won't disagree with that.
Because you don't even... Oh, you do still have Samuels, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started him this week.
Mm-hmm. And Devontae.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those are 2 start players, but...
I mean, Devontae, I don't know how much Tevin scored this last week, but I know Devontae outscored Cortland.
12-ish.
Devontae, I think, got like 18.
Yeah, he got quite a few.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I think Derek definitely wins this trade.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really want to give up Cortland Sutton, but just to kind of explain my thought process on it, I knew I was giving up a lot, but I really wanted an upgraded flex receiver. So I gave up a lot for it, but it's like, yeah, I could start Tevin or Cortland, but it's like the rest of my spots that I had were filled. So it's kind of like one of those moves where I just want a guy that I know can put up a consistent 15 line in a week versus having to worry about Sutton or Coleman busting. I just think Devontae's got less of a bust option.
Yeah, I agree.
So
and then he gets the benefit of having a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, it helps Derek out because it really helped his overall lineup in getting like just better players because he doesn't get a bad receiver in Cortland Sutton. Like Cortland Sutton's a number one receiver in Denver's offense, and then Tevin's number one back with the Niners. So like he gets a lot more depth.
Yeah, he does.
So, but yeah, Derek's best trade of the year. Good job.
Yep.
Way to ask Bruce for advice.
And he ended on a good note.
Yeah, that was his last trade. And the final trade that was made this season. Adam traded Jamal Williams to Sam for Noah Fant. Not too exciting, but
Sam wins this trade.
Yeah, he needed Adam needed a tight end, and he had Jamal Williams to spare. I guess
in your deeper like dynasty type leagues, Noah Fant is a fantastic option, but rookie tight ends have never been fantastic. And he's not on a really good offense either.
Yeah,
he's overshadowed by Cortland Sutton, Emmanuel Sanders. Oh shit! No, he's not. It's Cortland Sutton.
Cortland Sutton. Emmanuel Sanders isn't on
No,
there
he's on the 49ers now.
So, I mean, Noah Fant's been doing a little bit better, but I don't know. It's to me, it's just a wash. Honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, both to me, both players are people that I would start in my lineup on a week to week.
That's true.
I mean, Fant is probably.
If you don't have that fantastic tight end, Noah Fant isn't a bad play.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, Fant's probably maybe a little bit more valuable just because Jamal's just a backup running back.
Oh.
But I mean, well, yeah, Jamal can bust any week, but he can boom. But he's gonna bust more often than he's gonna boom.
Yeah,
he's just a risk. Like I honestly, unless I had to play him in my lineup, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
There's just better options.
Yeah,
Fant's someone that like you have more of a reason to start in your lineup.
I would agree.
Than Jamal.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why I would say that Adam slightly wins the trade. It's so close. It's washy, like most of these trades.
Yeah. So, overall, how do you think the season went? Like, what if you had to sum up the season of trades in a sentence or two? What would you say is the big takeaways for you guys?
It's a learning curve. I would say it's a learning curve. You saw some really shitty trades to start off the year.
Yeah.
But then as time went on, people started to see some more value, and kind of get more value.
Yeah, I just like that everybody was willing to trade this year. I think we had a lot more trades than we did last year.
I would agree.
So it's more fun when everybody's obviously like willing to trade, and like you said, it is a learning curve. So I mean, everybody's just got to have that willingness of just hashing out trades. And honestly, like I think as people that may not know football as much, like Derek, for example, who admits it, just like,
and also talking,
just look things up and talk things out.
There's nothing wrong with sending, a not absurd first offer.
Yeah.
But, you want to send out that first offer, start a conversation.
Yep.
Yeah, even if it may not be.
And then talk through what you're thinking, talk through what you need, and that's how you get good that's how you get good for
Typically.
both sides of a
Exactly.
team.
Typically, the first offer isn't going to be the first one accepted. I typically, like for my
Yeah.
example, I accepted the
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt one right away, but that was just because it made
That's
sense.
a special. That's
But like, it's a special,
only
special
it's a
happens-
special
circumstance.
occasion. But like, yeah, most like I'm gonna say like 98% of the time, you're not accepting the first trade offer. You're probably not even accepting the
Yeah.
second. You're like working back and forth for typically at least an hour, if not longer. Like most of my trades, like we've basically had to just it's just about talking out your thoughts and knowing what you need for your team and what risks you're
And then
willing to take
looking
for your
ahead.
team.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, kind of looking at consistency.
Yeah.
Looking behind to see what they've done against previous teams.
Mm-hmm.
Just going off of that.
Yeah.
A lot
Also,
of time, yeah.
patience
Mhm.
is something. It's a virtue.
Yeah.
If a player doesn't do well 1 week, just don't get rid of them because next week.
If anything, put them in your bench. Let them prove to you that they still have that consistency, and then go from there.
I mean, it's not to say that you should be patient, but if you want to trade them, I understand like in Adam's scenario with Evans, he should ask a little bit more for him, I think.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because I definitely think he could have got more for somebody like Evans' caliber. I just think that he shouldn't have been so reluctant to give him up so easily.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind anybody like wanting to trade somebody because they're not doing well, but when you know that and this is where the learning curve comes into play because Adam didn't really realize his value, just try to get more out of your trades.
And especially like you can see when you click on a player, you can see their position rank.
Yeah.
And I still think that Mike Evans had a pretty decent position rank.
At that point, he was probably definitely top 10.
Yeah.
So,
So use that to your advantage.
yeah.
You know?
Just look things up. The internet doesn't lie in a lot of these situations.
Mhm.
Overall, it was more fun this year in terms of trading.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was a
Because there was a
blast.
lot more.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly run through the numbers by team who made trades. I made the most with 12. Derek made 9. Lincoln made 9. Adam made 9. Bruce made 7. Fiala made 6. Michael made 4.
Mhm.
Tigran made 4. Colin made 3. Sam made 2. Macy made 1. And Zach made no trades. We came close a couple times to making a trade, but. And honestly, I almost did it just to say I was the person who traded with Zach, but I mean, it's not worth it. But yeah, I'm not sure what the total is. You'd have to pretty much add all these numbers and divide by 2, but yeah, very interesting year, I think. A lot of teams were made in not opposite of made broken
Yeah.
with trades. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's it for the trade analysis. That took a very long time.
Sorry, guys.